Okay, hi everybody. So I'm Judy Zeller, and I'm going to talk to you about understanding your retirement benefits today. We're going to start out with an overview of MCERA. We're going to discuss retirement eligibility requirements. We're going to talk about membership tiers and retirement benefit formulas. I'm going to show you retirement benefit calculation examples. We'll discuss retirement benefit options, disability retirement benefits, and death benefits. So MCERA is a defined benefit pension plan. That means that your retirement benefits are determined by law. Of course, that's the County Employees Retirement Law Act of 1937 and the Public Employees Pension Reform Act of 2013. Every active member contributes to MCERA, and member contribution rates are determined by employee classification, date of membership, and if hired prior to January 1st, 2013, age at membership. Your benefits are not based on your contributions to MCERA, and your retirement benefits are paid for life. So let's talk about retirement eligibility requirements. Legacy members, or what we would refer to as legacy members, were hired prior to January 1st of 2013. Pension reform, or PEPRA, was effective January 1st of 2013. So we refer to members that were hired after that date as PEPRA members. General members who have a legacy status must meet the following eligibility requirements. They must have a minimum of 5 years of service, at least 10 years of membership, and be a minimum age of 50 years old. Alternatively, they can retire after 30 years of service, regardless of age. Legacy, safety, and probation members have the same 5-year service requirement and 10-year membership requirement, and they can retire at a minimum age of 50, but they can also retire at 20 years of service, regardless of age. Our PEPRA members would be eligible after meeting 5 years of service and reaching a minimum age of 52. Safety and probation members have a minimum 5 years of service requirement, and they can retire at a minimum age of 50. This slide shows us the legacy membership tiers. So these are the tiers that are available to all of the members that were hired prior to January 1st of 2013. We start off with a general tier 1. Those employees were hired prior to 7/1 of 1984 and entered membership prior to that date. Those benefits are based on a 1-year final average salary. They would earn a maximum annual 3% cost of living increase, and their retirement benefit is 2% at 58.5. General Tier 3 members hired after 7/1 of 1984, their benefits would be calculated using a 3-year final average salary, and their benefit formula is 2% at 61.25. They're also entitled to an annual 3% annual cost of living. In fact, all legacy membership tiers are eligible to receive that benefit each year. In 2002 and 2003, General Tier 1 and General Tier 3 members were offered enhanced benefits. The General Tier 1 enhanced benefit was effective as of 1/1/2002 to management department heads and McCase members. Their benefits are based on a 1-year final average salary, and the benefit formula increased to 2% at 57. The General Tier 3 members, the enhanced benefit to SEIU was effective as of October 1st, 2003. That benefit is calculated with a 3-year final average salary, and the benefit formula increased to 2% at 57. Safety Tier 2 members, effective as of 6/1/1982. Safety membership would indicate Sheriff's Department deputies and staff. Their final average salary is a 3-year final average salary, and their benefit calculation is 3% at 55. And safety probation tier 2, effective as of 7/1/1984. And their benefit formula is 2% at 50. The PEPRA membership tiers were effective as of January 1st of 2013, when PEPRA became law. The 2 tiers or 3 tiers that are PEPRA membership tiers are General Tier 4, again with a 3-year final average salary and a benefit formula of 2.5% at 67, and Safety and Probation Tier 3. They also use a 3-year final average salary, and their benefit formula is 2.7% at 57. Now, the PEPRA membership tiers are not eligible for the annual cost of living increase. This is a calculation example of a benefit for a general tier 3 member who has an enhanced benefit. Their benefit is calculated using their final average salary, which in this case would be their highest 3 consecutive years on average, less a Social Security integration factor of 116.67, multiplied by a benefit multiplier, then multiplied by years of service. General Tier 3 members pay contributions on wages less this Social Security integration factor of 116.67 because the retirement system is fully integrated with Social Security. Benefit multipliers are based on your age at retirement, and at age 62, the multiplier is 1.3093 in this example. So in the table over on the right, you'll see the final average salary calculation at $3,000, less the Social Security integration factor, and the remaining amount of $2,883.33. The benefit multiplier is the 2% times the age multiplier of 1.3093, equating to 2.6186%, times 10 years of service, provides an estimated monthly benefit amount of $755.03. This is a general Tier 4 benefit calculation example using a final average salary of $3,000. There is no Social Security integration factor, multiplied by a benefit multiplier, in this case 2%, multiplied by the years of service, provides an estimated monthly benefit amount of $600. Now we're going to move on to describing retirement benefit options. When you get ready to retire and submit your retirement application packet, we will talk to you about the different benefit options that you can choose. And we'll start with the unmodified benefit. This provides the highest benefit to the member and does allow for a 60% continuance to a qualifying spouse or registered domestic partner. There may be remaining retirement contributions to leave to a designated beneficiary if the member passes away before receiving total benefit of payments that equal or exceed the contribution account balance at the date of retirement. In the option 1, the retirement benefit is slightly reduced to the member. This does not provide for a continuance, but it does provide for a potential of remaining contributions to be refunded to your named beneficiary if the member passes away before receiving total annuity payments that equal or exceed the contribution account balance at the date of retirement. Benefit option 2 also reduces the member's benefit in order to provide a 100% continuance to a named beneficiary. Option 3 reduces the member's benefit in order to provide a 50% continuance to a named beneficiary. And the option 4 is a reduced member to the benefit reduced benefit to the member, sorry, in order to provide a custom continuance percentage to one or more beneficiaries. And this is something that we do have the assistance of our actuaries in calculating for you. One final option that can be elected with all of those prior benefit options is the modified allowance with Social Security leveling. It's an optional benefit that temporarily increases your benefit by a portion of the expected Social Security benefit at age 62. So it would temporarily increase your benefit from the date you retire until you turn 62. This is only available to legacy members, again, the folks that were hired prior to January 1st of 2013, electing a normal service retirement. And disability retirements cannot elect the modified allowance with SSA leveling. With this modified benefit at age 62, the member's benefit is permanently reduced by the full amount of the expected SSA benefit, regardless of whether or not the member begins to receive their SSA benefits. Here we're going to discuss disability retirement benefits briefly. The retirement system does offer disability retirement benefits to our members. One is a non-service connected disability retirement. The requirements to apply for this benefit is you must have 5 years of service, be permanently disabled, and the disability is not work-related. The benefit is up to 33% of your final average salary or your service retirement if higher, and the benefit is taxable. This benefit would also provide a 60% continuance to a qualifying spouse or partner under the unmodified option. We also offer a service-connected disability retirement. The requirements to apply for that benefit is you would be eligible on the first day of employment. You must be permanently disabled, and the disability is not, it is work-related, so it was caused on the job. You must be, the benefit is 50% of final average salary and is non-taxable, or your service retirement if higher. Any benefits you would receive in excess of the 50% final average salary would be taxable, where the benefit up to the 50% is non-taxable. This benefit allows for 100% continuance to a qualifying spouse or partner. This slide discusses retirement death benefits. We do provide death benefits on behalf of active members and retired members. And some examples of those benefits are a refund of contributions to named beneficiaries for active members, non-service survivorship to a qualifying spouse or registered partner. In this instance, the deceased member must have met retirement eligibility requirements. Examples of death benefits for retired members would be a continuance of a retirement benefit to a qualifying spouse or partner, but it's dependent on the benefit option selected at retirement. We also pay a burial benefit to named beneficiaries. And if reciprocity applies, the last reciprocal system subject to Government Code Section 31789 would be responsible for payment of that burial benefit. And now I'm ready to take questions if anyone has any questions for me.
All right, we got a couple questions. Our first one is from an anonymous attendee. They say, I am concerned about Social Security. Will my Social Security be reduced because of this pension for the government clause?
It's a good question. Your Social Security benefit is not affected by this retirement benefit, and our benefit is not affected by Social Security unless you were to choose the Social Security leveling option.
We have a question from Colleen. Can you go through an example of calculating benefit amounts using any one of the tiers?
Benefit calculations for each member are very unique because there are certain variables such as the age you are when you're retiring, your final average salary, and your years of service. So I'm not prepared to provide you with a live benefit calculation example today, but you certainly can contact this office and request benefit estimates. You can also prepare your own benefit estimates on our member direct site, which is the member self-service portal.
We have another question from Candy regarding benefit options and remaining contributions. When you say that the contribution account balance, or when you say contribution amount balance, or sorry, when you say a contribution account balance, is that member contribution only or the total amount remaining?
That is the member contributions, including all of the interest that it's accrued over the years. So we capture that account balance at the date of retirement. And as you receive your monthly benefit payments during your retirement years, those are deducted from that contribution balance. And that's what we look at when we're looking to see whether or not there would be contributions remaining to leave to a named beneficiary.
And then a couple questions from Robin. What is Social Security integration? And is a continuance available for the lifetime of your beneficiary?
So the Social Security integration is a factor that we use to reduce your wages prior to calculating your contributions each pay period. And that is because we are fully integrated with Social Security. There is, depending on the option that you choose and depending on the type of beneficiary that you're nominating, you would be able to nominate someone to receive a lifetime benefit, whether they're a qualifying spouse or domestic partner, or they are a named beneficiary, depending on the benefit option. And we would counsel you at the time that you submit your retirement application on what the best retirement option would be for your situation.
And then the other question about the continuance available for the lifetime of your beneficiary. Is that available?
Yes, I just addressed that depending on your situation and the type of beneficiary that you're nominating, depending on the benefit option that you choose, you would be able to elect a lifetime continuance option.
Sorry about that, Judy. Let's see. An anonymous attendee has asked, I'm over the retirement age, but do not have 5 years. Can I leave service and receive the money I've put in?
Members can leave service and elect a full refund of their contributions and interest. They're not required to work 5 full years in order to be vested and begin receiving a retirement benefit.
Leaf is asking, can you explain SSA leveling in more detail?
SSA leveling is it is not a very popular option. It is something where members do have to realize that when they turn 62, we will be reducing your retirement benefit by that estimated Social Security amount that we obtain from the member at the time they retire. And the Social Security leveling, it's also important to note that it's really only available to members who are under the age of 62. So, if you're someone who's retiring early, say at 55, it may be a reasonable option in order to provide you additional income until you turn 62. But we would not offer that, we cannot offer that benefit to anyone that's over age 62.
We have a question from Mike. I plan to retire in 2 to 3 years. If I die in the next 3 years, will my spouse be reimbursed my future benefits?
Yes, when we discussed earlier, there was a slide that mentioned a death benefit of a non-service survivorship. So if you are vested and eligible to retire, but you've not elected to do so yet, and you pass away while in active service, your spouse would be eligible to receive what we call a non-service survivorship, and that would be a lifetime benefit for that member.
Candy asks, what is a qualifying spouse?
A qualifying spouse or registered domestic partner must be one who has been married or entered into that partnership at least 1 year prior to your date of retirement. And when we talk about registered domestic partnership, that must be registered with the state. So we would require a copy of the marriage certificate or the state registered domestic partnership documents at the time you retire to verify that you've been married or in that partnership at least 1 year prior to your date of retirement.
And we have a question from Felipe. Once I choose a retirement option, can I make changes afterward?
Once you make a benefit option selection and you receive your first benefit payment, your selection is irrevocable. So you cannot change your benefit election at that time.
And a question from Joy. When should retirement applications be submitted?
We can receive a retirement application no greater than 60 days prior to your chosen date of retirement and up to the day before your date of retirement.
And an anonymous attendee is asking, did you say that you don't need 5 years if you are retirement age to receive benefits?
No, you would still be required to have 5 years of service to be vested and eligible to receive retirement benefits. You're not, what I said earlier was that you were not required to work 5 full years. And if you separated from employment early and you wish to withdraw your retirement contributions, you would be able to do so.
An anonymous attendee asks, will you be addressing service hours and final average salary calculation from other counties?
We're not talking about reciprocal benefits in this particular seminar. I can touch on that a little bit for those of you who do have reciprocity with CalPERS or other 37 Act systems. When you submit your retirement application packet, we do share final average salary with the other system. But that won't be initiated until you actually apply for your service retirement.
I have another question here from an anonymous attendee. If you work 15 years, but at 36 hours in the work week, I think they're asking why are the hours or why are the service years reduced at a
Right.
part-time level?
Okay, I understand that. So our normal majority of our employees work 80 hours a pay period. We do realize that we have some employees who work as little as 64 hours a pay period, 72 hours. But your service credit is slightly reduced and prorated because you're working less than an 80-hour equivalent. And your final average salary calculation will also be slightly different. So if you're looking at receiving benefit estimates, I would certainly ask that you contact us and have us prepare that benefit estimate for you so that we can review all of your hours and your salary and ensure that you have a correct estimate.
All right, from an anonymous attendee, can the last day of work and the last day of service be changed?
So I've had this conversation with folks who have submitted their retirement application and they're very nervous about doing so. They have to provide notice to their department. If you've submitted your application packet and something changes in your life or in your office, and you do need to change your date of retirement, you can do so up to the day before your chosen retirement date. You can ask to suspend that or postpone your retirement. I hope that answered your question.
We have a question from Bethany. Please differentiate between the situations for a death benefit refund of contributions versus a non-service survivorship.
So if an active member, if a member were to pass away and they were not vested and they had not met eligibility requirements to begin receiving a service retirement, their beneficiary would be looking at a refund of remaining contributions on account. They do have to meet those minimum eligibility requirements before we can pay a non-service survivorship.
All right, and from Candy, if a spouse is receiving payments as a beneficiary, can they elect a beneficiary in the event of their death?
Can you repeat that, Maddie?
If a spouse is receiving payments as a beneficiary, can they elect a beneficiary in the event of their death?
Okay, once that spouse beneficiary who's receiving the continuance passes away, the benefit will end. There is no continuance available after that.
How are unused sick hours calculated into your retirement? And that's from an anonymous attendee.
Your sick leave hours are captured as of your date of separation, and they are calculated as service credit, converted to service, and that service credit is included in your final benefit calculation. It's added to your total years of service.
And Teresa asks, can you speak about years of service in planning for retirement, especially markers which increase retirement benefits?
I believe Nora's actually going to be going over some of this in her next presentation. The three main key factors in calculating your final retirement benefits are going to be your total years of service, the age you are when you retire, and your final average salary calculation. So the longer you work, the older you're going to get, the more years of service you'll accrue, and there's a potential for your final average salary to go higher. That really working longer is the best way to improve your retirement benefit.
And just a warning here, we're coming up at 2 minutes until the next presentation. I do have another question from Leaf. Part of my contributions were not tax deferred. How do you calculate that?
Well, that's a great question. Anyone who has post-tax contributions that were taken, they will receive a tax credit when they begin receiving their service retirement on a monthly basis. So there is a calculation that we'll do, and you'll receive a small tax credit for those post-tax dollars.
And from an anonymous attendee, can you go over the SSA leveling really quick again? And is this information on our website?
I'll jump back to that slide real quick. It's not available on our website. I would be happy to schedule an appointment to meet with someone and discuss it maybe in greater depth. If they're interested, you can contact the office and set that up, or you can email the Retirement Association email for an appointment. temporarily increases the member's benefit by a portion of their expected Social Security benefit. What we would do if we're going to provide you with a benefit estimate is we would ask you to obtain an estimated Social Security benefit amount from the Social Security Administration. And we would use that in our benefit calculation to determine what the Social Security adjustment would be to your benefit. So you would receive a temporary increase in your monthly payments until you turn 62. But once you turn 62, then we would reduce your benefit by the amount you would receive from Social Security. If you began receiving your Social Security at 62, you would still have the same level of income going forward. Your monthly income should stay the same. And in some cases, there's an opportunity for that Social Security amount to actually increase if you do some other type of work after you retire.
Okay, I think that's about time for questions. Julie and Candy, I will answer your questions via text, okay?